Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create what's called an as-built layer set. There's nothing on the list here, so we're just going to go into our layer management. We're going to go in right here, click that little check mark for your layer management tools, and we're going to copy this set. I'm going to make a copy. I want to have a layer set where I'm preparing this now to create my blue dotted lines, or whatever color you want. So I'm going to copy this set, and I'm just going to call it my as-built set, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, layer sets, everything on the list that you see here is on every layer set. Think of a layer set as just a different spreadsheet. It's got the same items here, it's just got different things turned on and off. That's all it is. So you don't have to go through and turn the check marks on and off all the time. So we've got our as-built set. What I'm going to do is just go down the list once, and I'm going to turn off things that I don't want to be in my as-built. Now, if you're not sure what to do, just look for the red plus signs. In fact, you can click on this little item here called Used, and only the items that are actually used in your plan will now be at the top. You can sort any of these columns by clicking on the heading. So I want that on. I don't want any dimensions. I don't want door labels. I'm going to leave the electrical on. I don't want room names. Text I'll leave on. A couple people had to leave us. I'll leave all the walls turned on, but I am going to turn off the wall layers. Or maybe you want to display the framing layer only, but I'm going to just turn off the wall layers. So only the outer lines of the wall will show up. Just a little cleaner that way. Turn off my window labels, and that's it. There's nothing else on any layer in my plan, because there's no plus sign in front of it. So I don't have to check the whole list. Now when we click OK, and OK, and then we switch to, we go to the list up here and we switch to our as-built layer set. Now we get just a nice clean line drawing with the electrical on. And here's how we go about creating those blue dotted lines on top of our plan so we can tell when anything's been changed. It's very simple. X1 makes this extremely easy to do. Wish they had a button that said just do it, but they don't. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on Create a CAD Detail from the View. Create CAD Detail from the View. And we're going to get this. It's going to blink a few times, and it's not going to look any different. But if you look up here, it's going to say Detail 1. Or Detail 2 or Detail 3, depending on how many details you have in your plan. First thing I do after I do that is I go into my CAD Detail Management, which is, oh, we don't have an icon here. So let's go to our CAD, and let's go to CAD Detail Management, or Shift V. And I'm just going to rename that so I can recognize it when it's on my list. This is my first floor as-built. As you get a lot of details in your plan, that list can get kind of long and it gets confusing as to what's on each item. There's my as-built. Okay, so now it says first floor as-built CAD detail. These are just CAD lines now. There's no 3D here anymore. If you need to clean it up a little bit more, maybe you want to get rid of that up arrow, whatever, you can do that now. You can finish cleaning it up a little bit more if you want to. These are just CAD lines. All right. Next step. So you've done that. You've created your as-built. You've got the CAD drawing of your as-built. Now we want to put these lines back onto our floor plan. Before we do that, let's go ahead and do something. Now there's, again, different ways you can do this, but what I'm going to do is highlight the arrow icon here. I'm just going to draw a marquee around everything. You don't have to hold any keys down. Just click that arrow and draw a marquee, and you're going to select everything here. And what I'm going to do now is put this all on a I'm going to open my dialog, open the edit dialog for the items you've just selected. And under line style, which layer do you want those lines to be on? So we're just going to go down here. I have a layer set up called CAD as built lines. If you wanted to, you could go define a layer, and you could go CAD, create a new layer, hit new or copy, put it on whatever layer you want. So I'm going to go ahead here and CAD as built lines. They're blue dotted lines. That's just something I've landed on. You can make them whatever you want. Click OK, and there you go. Everything's on that layer. Let's just make sure that after you've done that, make sure that you do everything to display by the layer. Make sure you check these items right here. And as you're at it, while you're at it, make sure you check this back group. With this determines where the CAD lines display on top of each other in Chief. And you always want your dotted as-built lines to be in the back of everything else. So make sure you're by layer and make sure you're in the back group. I suppose our line width could be by layer also. Click OK. Now we've got everything blue dotted lines. So there you go. Here's the next step. Okay, so we've got all of these lines on a single layer. We could turn that layer on and off anytime we want to. Okay, all these lines are on as built CAD line layer. Here's what we do to put it back on our floor plans. Very simple. Highlight everything. Hit copy. Okay, we've got a copy. Let's go to our floor plan now. Now let's go to Edit, Paste, and Hold Position. And Chief will put it back in the same exact place it got it from. Okay, so when you're done and you unselect, it shouldn't look any different than what you started with. That's because all your CAD lines are in the exact same place, being covered up by all of the other items because they're on top of those CAD lines. So now what you do, let's go into our layers one more time. Now we just want to lock that so I don't move it around. Notice I didn't block the lines or anything anymore. I used to always block the CAD lines. I don't do that. Now we just put all the lines on one layer. Now make sure that that layer is displaying on our floor plan. In fact, let's change back to our default set. Let's make sure that that layer is turned on in our default set. It is as built lines. Now as you start moving things in your plan, voila, there is what used to be there. Okay, anytime you do anything now, you move a window, you relocate a door, you're getting rid of a wall. Okay, you can instantly tell what's been there. You know there's a cold air return that has to be addressed. At any time, you just turn that layer on or off, and you're back to where you started. So you can just, with the click of a button, see what's been changed everywhere in your plan at any time. Now let's say you have to go in and edit those as-built lines. You just realize, oh, there's some lines here I don't want, or I want to add another line. Let's just go into our layer sets. Let's turn on a layer set called all on or off. It doesn't matter. So I go into my all off set. I select all, and I turn everything off. Then I go back to my set, and I'm going to turn on the CAD as-built lines. Click OK. Make sure you change your layer set to the all offset. Now you're back just to your dotted lines that you can edit, change, add to, delete, whatever you want. So maybe I want to move this or get rid of this because it's really not supposed to be there. Okay, I'm done now. So now I'll just go back to my default set and I'm back to where I need to be.